Hey guys, so since I have been getting new subscribers, I'm going to retell my like story, my life, what has happened to me, not in much detail, kind of the short version because there might be some stuff that is against the community violence or something like that. So anyway, we'll start with my parents. So my parents had me when they were 1920. So pretty young. They weren't married. When I was 3, my parents noticed that my feet were turning in and I was falling a lot. So they took me to Dayton Children's, and they didn't really know what to diagnose me with, so they just said, oh, it's cerebral palsy. They didn't really try very hard to find out what it actually was. And then they were also saying I needed all these surgeries that I did not need, that we found out later, that I'll get more into that later. When I was 3 and my parents separated, they were never married or anything. I don't know if I said that already. So yeah, I never really knew my parents as a couple, which I find kind of sad, but it is what it is. I'm now 19 and I'm just kind of used to it now. And then also when I was 3, my aunt, she was 18, 19, and she passed away. I was really close with her. Even though I was 3, I still have pretty vivid memories of her. She adored me, she loved me. And yeah, I miss her. But from that, my mom has PTSD. So, yeah. Also, another thing, since mental health can be genetic, my uncle Stan, he also passed away. I wasn't as close with him though, but obviously I still miss him. But anyway, he had schizophrenia, so maybe that might be part of the reason why I have mental health issues. But I also don't think that I would have these mental health issues if the stuff that happened to me didn't happen to me. Anyway, so when I was 4, I had my first surgery. And that surgery was really tough. It was on my legs, on both legs, and very painful. They did a heel cord lengthening, and then they did a split tendon transfer, which that's so painful. Oh my gosh. They twist your tendon out. I guess to correct your footing or something. I don't know. I was 4. Also, when I was 4, I had kidney reflux, which is where your kidney is shaped like a horseshoe, and they had to give me this catheter test. And I had trauma from that because I just had a bunch of doctors looking at me down there, trying to stick something in me. Yeah, it just really wasn't fun, and it's a really traumatic thing for a 4-year-old to go through, and I had to go through it for years. When I was 5, my mom got married to my now ex-stepdad. He treated me great. And then when I was 6, they had my brother. And fun fact, we were actually born on the same day, just 6 years apart. And then my ex-stepdad got a new job as a police officer, and that's kind of when he started treating me not very well. When I was, when I was 8, my sister was born. So I'm the oldest. I have 2 half siblings. And yeah, and then I also had my second surgery, but it was only on one leg, but it was the leg that got the heel cord lengthening and not the split hinge transplant. They did the split hinge transplant on that one. And then since Stain Children's was not really helping me much and not really trying, we went to Cincinnati Children's, and they actually found out that I have CMT. CMT is a neurological condition. And say like I want to pick up this drink and drink it, right? My brain tells my arm to move to pick up the drink. But sometimes my signals to move my arm or something don't reach all the way. So yeah, and it's progressive. Like, I used to be able to walk, run, I danced, I did like gymnastic tricks. I wasn't in gymnastics, I was in ballet, tap, and jazz, but I never did gymnastics because it was just after like 2 years of tap, since my disorder is progressive, I couldn't dance anymore. So yeah, but like I could do cartwheels and somersaults, and I would play on bars, I would do flips on bars, I would do the monkey bars, and now I can't do that. My disability affects my whole body. And it is quite painful. Like, when I walk, it feels like pins and needles. Like I'm walking on pins and needles. And, I also have like chronic body pain, and that's just kind of body aches. So yeah, that's what CMT is. Anyway, when I was 10, my mom was just kind of sick of my ex-stepdad treating me not very well, and he also wasn't treating my mom very well. So yeah, she divorced him, and so yeah, I cried a little bit because it was like a change, and some people like me don't do good with change, so I just got overwhelmed. But it didn't really affect me much. There was one time when me and my mom went to pick up my siblings because it was my mom's day to have them, and I just started bursting into tears because I just had all the memories of my ex-stepdad's family. And even though they didn't treat me right, I still kind of miss them. I don't know. But yeah. And then my mom started dating a new guy, and he also didn't treat my mom very well. But luckily that's over. So yeah. Backtrack to when I was like 10 again. I had my first attempt. When I was 13, someone told me to play Fruit Ninja, and then I don't really want to go into detail what happened that made me do it. It wasn't the fact that someone told me to do it, but they did get the idea in my head that like this is a way out and I could do this, and then something bad happened and I ended up doing it like 2 days later or maybe a week later. And then I went to the hospital. I have been in and out of the hospitals for years now. But like I wasn't like admitted to a psych ward or anything. So yeah. And then 6 months after that, I was clean. I was doing pretty well. And then there was like a year where I was just having a really hard time. COVID happened, and that kind of messed with my mental health. Yeah. So during that year, I was using my meds to get, yeah. I don't do that anymore. I'm done with that. That was not healthy. I would also have many attempts, and I would play Fruit Ninja too. And no one knew about this for a year. They all thought I was fine. So yeah. But about 2 days before my 16th birthday, like when I was like 14 or something, or 15, I like promised myself that I would not make it to my 16th birthday. It was getting close, so I attempted. And I told a friend, because I was in a school musical, and I made friends there, and I started opening up. And then I told a friend, and they told the school counselor, and it was a whole thing. And so yeah, I was not mad at the friend. I know they just wanted to help. I understood why they told. Yeah. So when that happened, the school counselor called me down, and then they called my mom to pick me up from school, and then she dropped me off at home for a little bit to run errands. And then when she got back, I went to the psych ward, or I went to the ER, and then they admitted me to the psych ward, and that was my very first time in a psych ward. That psych ward actually, it did help me a lot. I learned a lot of things I liked. Like I learned that I liked art. I learned some meditation skills and some other coping strategies that could help me. But like for me, even still, it's really hard for me to use the coping strategies if something like happens and I have a breakdown. In that moment, all I'm thinking about is like Fruit Ninja or attempting or something like that. But I have definitely gone better about that. Yeah. And then for the next 2 years, so like until I turned 18, I was doing better, but I was still playing Fruit Ninja. Yeah. Also, when I think it was when I was 16, there is the CMT. I'm connected with the CMTA, the CMT Association, and they recommended that I went to Nationwide Children, which is, I guess, a CMT Center of Excellence, and they found out that I have this rare gene which causes my CMT, and they also said that only 12 other people have it besides me, and it's new, and it's super rare, obviously. And since it's new, they know nothing about it. And so yeah, that kind of sucks. They said it may not be CMT, it may be a whole new disorder, or it may be a whole new type of CMT, because like there's a bunch of different types of CMT. Sorry about that, guys. My grandpa came into the room when I was filming, so I went somewhere else, because yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on with my disorder. When I was 18, I was doing pretty good, like, at first, and then I went into college, and hey Jax, there's my cat. Hey. And I was kind of stuck in a toxic friendship. She was also my caregiver, because I have to have caregivers to help me get ready in the morning and at night, since I'm not able to do it because of my disability. So yeah, I went to the hospital like twice in 1 month, and I was hospitalized like in a psychiatric unit one time, and that psychiatric unit kind of sucked. Like, they neglected me. Like, obviously I need help with like showering and stuff like that. They wouldn't brush my hair for a few days. I couldn't shower for like 3 days, and every time I had to use the restroom, I would have to wait at least 30 minutes for them to help me. I was not very fond of that psychiatric unit. I will never go back. If I have to go to a psychiatric unit, it will definitely not be that one. I'm now 19. I'm doing better. I did recently, probably like 2 months ago, go to the hospital because I was feeling bad. And that night I was discharged and I was okay to go home. Right now, I'm on winter break and I'm at my grandma's. So yeah, that's kind of where I am now. I'm doing a lot better, but still obviously have my struggles. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Bye. Love you guys.